All right, it is time to get internet for the boat. So let's check out what we're gonna do. Go climb on top of the boat. Just started on this. So here's what we got going on up top.
Hear the voice within, calling this heavy.
So looking up here, here's what I'm doing. So there's already a hole up here. I gotta drill that out, make it 9/16, and I've got a Sirius XM antenna. It's gonna sit right here, a little small hockey puck. It's gonna sit right up here, and run the cable down inside. I'm gonna pull the VHF TV antenna off because the stuff that they advertise on, stuff they broadcast on the airwaves is pretty much worthless. And we're gonna do internet instead, and then we can stream YouTube. Go figure, right? What a surprise. And the antenna we're putting up is a 7-in-1 antenna. It's 4x LTE, 2x Wi-Fi, and 1x GPS. The GPS antenna I'm actually gonna run all the way to the AIS, so it'll have the best signal in the house, which will be cool. But to do all of this, I have a problem. So let's define the problem. Right here, I got nothing. I need a clamshell to go there. So I have to pull all of this off. So why don't you just use the clamshell you already got? Well, here's my problem. It's already full right here. So we got to pull the radar mast off. We got to pull TV antenna off. I got to drill a bigger hole up here, mount that antenna, run that cable down. Then I got to take the stanchion out of the way. Then I got to undo the caulking, hit the 6 screws on both sides, pull this up. The horn is going to be a challenge. Come over here because it's got short wires and stuff. And then this will pop up. Then I'm gonna have to drill a hole here. There's another drill inside. A hole inside I'm gonna have to drill. And then I gotta make it all waterproof because it's the roof and I don't want to get wet going underway. So that's the plan. And let's go ahead and get started. So to start out with my tool set, this is actually the set of tools. This is a nice Craftsman set that I bought just for the boat. This thing's on the boat. Nice socket set and stuff. The metric for the engine and standard for everything else in the boat. The screws right back where they came out so I don't lose these either. I'm gonna go take this, put it safely inside the boat. I'll be back in a minute. There's a lot of threads on this thing.
How goes the battle?
Hey. Yup. You did.
So it wasn't the drill bit, was it?
No. I can live without that, but. Alright, mounting the new antenna mount. To drill 3 new holes, and I want the metal shades getting all over my boat and scratched with gel coated stuff, especially after I got ceramic coated. Just a little bit of extra painter's tape to catch all the shavings. We have success.
Thumbs up, smile, something. Woo! Yay! Job's right. You gotta do them right.
You gotta take the whole mast off and drill a hole.
Oh.
That is what I wanted right there. Oh my God. I have been dreading this for months.
That's funny.
Oh my God, success. Finally got this off. This is what it looks like underneath the mast. This is a little breakaway. So there's a bunch of expanding foam that keeps water from getting in there. So there's actually two holes. You got the clamshell. I'll show you guys over here. Clamshell goes right there, goes into the side, but that's actually not the roof. This thing is meant to, like, if you went into a low overhead, like a garage, you know, like a covered slip, and your mast wasn't down, it would break this off and not rip your roof off. But I'm putting an antenna in, so I got to drill a new clamshell hole right there, and then another hole through the roof to run 8 cables to go through here, and get all that sealant up so I can put it all back together once I get all this done. But this is a huge milestone. Not a family-friendly day down at the dock today, but we are making progress. Progress is good. Maybe you drill through fiberglass, you drill with the drill in reverse. Not forward. If you go forward, it'll crack the gel coat. So then this is going to go right there, and this is going to go on top of that. Before I can do that, I got to drill, I got to cut that piece out. Let's grab that drill. Put the cables. This will be so nice when this is done. You don't actually watch a whole lot of TV, but so getting rid of that TV antenna makes a lot of sense. That's why our boat's named Channel Surfing. But we do watch a lot of YouTube. Go figure, right? And if there's LTE signal to be had in the area, this antenna should pick it up. There we go. Alright, that is the first hole. So cable is going to come through here. They're going to go into this. I'm going to stick that on here, clamp them down. When I put this in, I will put a bunch of sealant in between the cables. I'm going to do them as a flat strip. And I got to drill one extra hole over here because I have a GPS, and the XM antenna's got to go through that on the rubber stopper. That's what she'll look like. And now I got to go drill a hole right in the roof. I'm going to do a 1-inch hole right there, straight down. is how I get the antennas into the cabin. 8 cables, we gotta run through that. If you're gonna do something, don't do it halfway, not all the way. Hold it right there. I got one more little cable to come down. It's the GPS antenna. Alright, right there. Nope. That's good right there. Now I gotta organize them so that they're flat and they fit through the clamshell the way I want them to. Yep. Now do a little bit of cable management to clean this up. Alright, we are getting closer. There's the Mobility 42G antenna. And Sirius and XM antenna right up there. Should give me some pretty decent XM radio coverage.
What are you doing? More projects?
So I'm trying to wire this up. They give you an AC adapter. I'll show this to you. So the router comes with an AC cord. And there's no terminal block to plug into it. And I want DC. Well, if you read the label on it, it says, there's some light on it. It says input 120 volts. That's AC power. Output 12 volts, 2 amps, 24 watts max. All right, so cut the wires.
Now it's DC.
Yep, now it's DC, because I don't need this, right? It's got a white, a black, and a red. So you would think the black is negative, the white is positive. Actually, the red is positive, the black is negative. And the white would be the ignition wire. all right, you can put this in like a van or something, right? Well, I'm not doing the ignition, so I just got to tie the ignition with the positive because it's always going to be on unless I unplug it. And it didn't work. So I take it all back apart again. And I go and I recrimp the thing. I'm checking with the voltmeter. It's just not making any sense to me. And I said, the heck with it. Cut everything I did. I just did a continuity test on the plug. This is the power plug that goes to it from the 3 wires here. And looking at this, mapped them out. It actually says right here on it which one's positive or negative. So I drew it out. So this is looking at the plug in. And this is the actual plug that goes into there, where I need negative, positive, and the ignition wire. And as it turns out, with a continuity test, white is the negative, red is positive, and the ignition wire is the black. And of course, they don't have any of this documented. So now I'm going to put everything back together. Negative right there. That's the ignition wire right there. 13 volts, yay! And then do positive. $13 volts. We are good to go. She will boot up. So now all I do is put my roof back together, my ceiling back together. And then clean up. Move my garage back home.
Yay!
Check out this mess. Show them the mess. That's it.
Oh, there's more under the table.
I am so out of control.
Whoop.
Garage, go home. If you take just the screw, just enough, or the tip of the screw to the other side, then you can find the hole that's got to go back in, so don't make new holes. And you push up in the center, then that gets the bow, and then you can work on both sides out. That's my tools I keep on the boat. I keep a 12-volt cordless on the boat. I'm lightweight, easy for this kind of stuff. Plug in the last 2 wires. Wi-Fi attached. Lights, camera, action. This concludes the internet installation.
Woohoo!
Put the boot up, log on with my phone.
What you doing, Captain?
So the base right here, I've got a coiled up bunch of antenna cable that goes to my XM cable. And last week when I put the wireless in, I didn't have a chance to run that cable. So I coiled it up here nice and neat. So I got to pull the teak down, fish the cable, and then I got to run it all the way over there, and then it's going to run down, then it's going to run forward, and hopefully it stretches to where I can connect it to the XM radio. Otherwise we'll find out how long of a piece of extension cable I may or may not need. So that's the plan. I've done this before, it's just work. Here is the Sirius XM antenna. I don't know if this is going to reach or not. I'm so hoping it does. It's going to run all the way over there. It's going to run down. Yeah, it probably will. It probably will reach. Alright. Take the port hole out. Take this off because I gotta get a fish tape from here to here, and then pull this off so I can run the cable straight down the bulkhead, go under the cave. I can pull the cable down, then I can run it forward. Then I gotta take the seat off. It's gonna be a fun afternoon. Woohoo! This is the hardest part of the job, I would say, is getting that fish tape to come through here. The rest of it is just work to drop it straight down. I've got to take the seat off. That's just work so I can get underneath. Once the cable drops down, then I can pull it forward up under the throttle, and then it becomes really easy to come around.
I do believe that that is the easiest run right there.
Once you get this, you're home free. What are you talking about? This is the hardest.
What are you talking about? The side of the boat was the hardest one.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see how much I have to bleep him on this next run.
Second challenge overcome.
Oh, it's on the wrong side of that. No, I'm just kidding.
Now, one of the things you want to do on this is actually there's a cable bundle right here. It goes right behind this. You want to tie or zip tie this to that, because otherwise it'll fall out and it'll sit in your window. Get this up out of my way because I'm now done with this. Good as new. There we go. What I did there, should have done that before, but when the 8 cables come down through the hole in the roof, it's a 7/8 inch hole. As the boat vibrates, there'll be abrasion from the fiberglass into the insulation on the antenna. So I went and just stuck about 4 inches worth of split loom around it. So split loom actually rubs against the edge of the fiberglass, and the cables run through it. So if you come in under the cave, this piece comes off. And there's a couple of screws that are in the corner that you got to take out, and then the piece will drop down, and then we'll be able to see straight up in that cable raceway that comes down on the starboard side. And just like that, get some light up here. There's the cable raceway. Get that out of the way. I gotta get the cable straight down from above, and then we're gonna run it straight forward. Right up over there. That goes into where you can actually see the little Boston here. Right there. Now take some electrical tape and tie the end of that cable, wrap it all around the fish tape, and then I'll just pull it straight down. I got the end of the fish tape.
Huh?
But I have the end of the fish tape.
Okay.
I gotta make sure don't trips in it.
Pull this back through?
Yeah, you can pull the fish tape up. Look at that. It is gonna reach.
Woohoo!
These things come out really easy. Thank you, Ranger Tug, for doing that really nice. Here we go. Ozzy's Boneyard, Sirius XM. We're ready to rock and roll. We have XM radio. Best antenna in the house. Top of the radar mast, right next to the anchor light. Does not get any better. Now I gotta go zip tie all these tires, these cables up, and put the boat back together.
Oh, it's gonna go this way. Look a little sweaty. Does that work?
This is what work looks like. The other thing I do is just get them enough to grab, but you want it to be loose until you get all 8 of them in. That way you can shake the seat and get all the holes to line up.
There's a hole there, but you're a little off.
All this thing is just show and tell. It's just decoration. Done. We have XM radio on the boat. The best antenna in the house. Alright. Finally finished the installation of the internet upgrade for the boat. So internet Wi-Fi for the boat. So this is a Pepwave Mobility 42G antenna. It's a 7-in-1 antenna. That's what I mounted up here. I took the TV antenna off because there's like nothing broadcast on the airways worth watching in my opinion. And we'd much rather watch YouTube anyway. Right? We don't watch a lot of TV. That's actually how our boat name came to be. We'd rather be surfing channels like President's Channel, San Juan Channel, instead of clicking through wasteless, useless TV channels. So, but we do watch a lot of YouTube. Go figure, right? So anyhow, to mount this, what I was looking for was a spot on the boat that's not in the radar beam, right? Which was really hard to do, which meant I had to be above the radar. And I also wanted 360 degrees around for it. It's a 4x LTE antenna. It's got 2x Wi-Fi antennas and then a GPS antenna in it. All of that goes into the LTE router, which is a Pepwave 5G Pro router. I've seen it benchmark over 300 megabit in the airwaves. Out and about on the waterways, getting over 100 megabit is actually realistic. On mounting of it, I was actually able to get all the cables to run through the mast, and I had to put a clamshell on the starboard side and still make sure that the mast for trailering can lay down onto the port side. So route the cable stuff around. The other problem I ran into was when you extend antenna cables for LTE and Wi-Fi, you lose a lot of power, and power is what I'm after. That's the whole reason. The reason we struggle on the water with internet on our phones is the tower has enough power to get to you, but your phone doesn't have enough power or a big enough antenna to talk back. That's what this is. A high gain antenna, what it actually does is it reshapes the signal so that it can increase the power. So think like a big donut. So instead of shooting the signal way up into outer space where nobody's listening, angle that and focus that energy out towards the hillsides where the LTE antennas and stuff are. So basically, if there's an LTE signal out there, I should be able to grab onto it and get connectivity. Realistically, for me doing work, I only need like 30 megabit. And seeing benchmarks well over 100 is actually realistic. So talk briefly about Starlink, right? Everybody's talking Starlink. Why did I not do Starlink, right? So here's some of the reasons. I did look at Starlink and considered that. So with this setup, I can run internet on the boat at 25 knots. Starlink currently requires that you be stationary. I do expect that to change in the future with Starlink to make it be mobile, but it's an FCC regulation why it has to be stationary currently. So with LTE, I can be mobile and get internet. The power draw for this LTE and 5G router, it's under 20 watts, and I've measured on the battery monitor to pull about 6. Starlink is going to pull 60 watts, right? So it's pretty significant power savings as well. LTE and 5G is continually getting better. 5G is currently being expanded. Seeing speeds above 100 megabit benchmarks are realistic today. I've seen it with this setup already. I'm an intercoastal cruiser. My gas tank says that I got to stay within about 60 miles of shore so I can get back. Realistically, our boating lifestyle keeps us within about 15 miles of shore. So as long as I'm near some kind of an urban area, which I generally would be, I should be able to grab LTE signal off of that. All right. And lastly, the LTE 5G router has a WAN port that's an Ethernet cable plug-in. So if I wanted to add Starlink in the future, I easily could.
Again, thanks for watching, and don't forget to like the video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell for notifications so you get notified when I upload a new video. And until the next video, stay tuned for more channel surfing.